The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right. Fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon.
Nice. You guys think of everything.
Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
It's Halloween time, and the Disneyland Resort's 70th celebration is here. Spooky delights are brewing with spine-tingling cheer. A pinch of pumpkin, a dash of fright, a flicker of joy to paint the night. Watch as a giant Mickey pumpkin, a headless horseman, and happy haunts have a ball. Cars Land becomes Radiator Screams. Plus, there are seasonal favorites like Haunted Mansion Holiday and Guardians of the Galaxy, Monsters After Dark. Enjoy tricks, treats, and a ghostly invitation. This happy Halloween, join the Disneyland Resort's 70th celebration. Halloween time, August 22nd through October 31st. Visit Disneyland.com or contact your travel advisor for important details.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
¡Listos todos! Estas son las mañanas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Contact us if canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Jack here. My bonus Jack combo starting at $3.99 comes with fries, a drink, and a burger with 1, 2, or 3 patties. It's a meal that'll actually make you happy. Starting at $3.99. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Plus tax. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
Recapping the 2025 MLB trade deadline for the Arizona Diamondbacks. A pair of holdouts in the NFL, contract disputes, getting everybody here in town a little bit excited about the Cardinals jumping on some opportunities. And what does the future hold for Zac Gallen? All of that, the focus of hour number 1, the lunch break, right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours. Producer Evan is behind the glass. He's taking your phone calls today. 480-864-1060 is your way to join us. You can stream the show on the KDUS AM 1060 app. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel and share your thoughts over on the live video version of the show. I don't want to start today's program with the I told you so's, so I'll just hit the button and then do it.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
Yesterday, I said to everybody that listens to this program, everybody that was frustrated, annoyed, disappointed in the return that the Diamondbacks got back for Eugenio Suarez, I said, be patient. Let us get to 3 o'clock yesterday. Let us see what Mike Hazen and the Arizona Diamondbacks have left up their sleeves. And boy, did they have a couple of nice tricks up their sleeves yesterday. First, it was the move sending Merrill Kelly to the Texas Rangers, getting back 3 pitching prospects. And then it was the move to send Shelby Miller to Milwaukee, along with Jordan Montgomery's contract, to save this team some money going into the rest of this season that should carry over into next season. We said to wait on judging the deadline because we wanted a complete picture. We wanted to see the entire return from this deadline for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I don't know how you look at the return that the Diamondbacks got, what they did to their prospect system, what they did to the short and long-term future of this organization, and you are not happy with what they were able to accomplish at the deadline. You're not happy that they were in that position in the first place, but they made the best, the absolute best, out of a bad situation over the last couple of days. After all the moves that they made, Josh Naylor, Randall Grichuk, Eugenio Suarez, Merrill Kelly, those 4 moves. This is what the Diamondbacks did to their top 30 prospects, according to MLB Pipeline. Does not include the 2025 draft class. They added the number 6 prospect in their system, Tyler Locklear, the number 7 prospect in their system, Cole Drake, the number 10 prospect, Mitch Bratt, 2 more top 15 prospects, 3 more prospects inside the top 25. This team got back 8 players that now fit into the top 30 of their system, according to MLB Pipeline. And these are not just your run-of-the-mill prospects that are lottery tickets for the future. Do we want to do the thing? Go name by name? How about the number 6 prospect, Tyler Locklear, who's going to be the starting first baseman for this club the rest of the way? Is going to be given every opportunity in the world to earn the 2026 starting job, who made a swing change this season that has seen him be able to catch up to the fastball better, tap into more of the power that he has, and he could be a middle of the lineup bat. A guy that you're going to get to see over the next 2 months. Not a prospect that you have to wait 3 years to see. You're going to see 2 months of Tyler Locklear playing first base for the Arizona Diamondbacks. What about Cole Drake, Mitch Bratt, David Hageman, the next 3 names on the list? Those, the 3 pitchers that they got back for Merrill Kelly in the deal with the Texas Rangers. Now, I'm no prospect expert. I'm not here to give you a detailed breakdown. But you know what I did yesterday when we all heard that Texas and Boston were teams that were flirting with the Diamondbacks when it came to Merrill Kelly? You know the first thing I did? I went to MLB Pipeline, I pulled up Fangraphs, and I looked at the top prospect list for these teams. And I put an emphasis on starting pitchers that are close to being big league ready with an ETA of 2026, maybe even 2027. And you know what I did? And producer Evan can check me on this. If you go and look at my Twitter timeline yesterday, I quote tweeted a tweet from, I think it was John Heyman, discussing that the Texas Rangers were in the mix. And I said, Cole Drake, ? A top 5 prospect in the Ranger system, a starter who had an ETA of 2026. It's as if what we had been telling you all along about what we thought the Diamondbacks should do, what we thought Mike Hazen would be up to this deadline, kind of a soft buy, even though he's selling, setting up the pieces on the chessboard for 2026 is exactly what happened. Because all 3 of those pitchers, Drake, Bratt, Hageman, all could be potential starting pitching options, especially the first 2, Cole Drake and Mitch Bratt, 2 left-handed starting pitching options that could very easily see action in 2026 for the Diamondbacks rotation. And oh, by the way, the next 4 on the list, Ashton Izzy, Brandon Garcia, Hunter Cranton, Juan Burgos, 3 of those guys, 2 of those guys, Garcia and Burgos, I think, are going to be in the big league bullpen, if not already in the big league bullpen. And this list doesn't include Andrew Hoffman, the guy they got back in the Grichuk trade, who I think may be one of the best arms that they added to their pen. Mike Hazen took an absolutely terrible situation, an organization that had dreams, goals of making the playoffs and going on another run, spending tons of money, adding Corbin Burns, putting together an absolutely fearless back end of the bullpen with A.J. Puck and Justin Martinez and Kevin Ginkel, and a lineup with Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez and Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte and Perdomo and Moreno, Pavin Smith. They put together a high-quality team with the intent to go for it. It didn't work out. We were crushed all year long, each passing day. when we realized that they were not going to hit those goals. So this is not a day we thought was going to come. But Mike Hazen did his absolute best job here in turning this prospect system around. And again, these are not prospects that you're going to have to wait until 2028 or 2029 to see participate at the big league level. You're going to get answers pretty quickly. I have a pretty good feeling that by the end of the 2025 season, you're going to feel one way or another about Tyler Locklear being the starting first baseman for this squad next season. You're going to be like, you know what? I want to see this kid as the starting first baseman, or I'm not sold. You're going to know because you're going to get 2 months of them down the stretch of the season here. Cole Drake, Mitch Bratt, I don't know if they'll get starts here towards the back part of the season. Feel like more early on in 2026 options, but guys that can fill the rotation vacancies that this organization has. And bullpen help on the fly in Brandon Garcia, a lefty, Juan Burgos, a righty, who I love the stuff. I love the under-the-hood metrics of not walking a ton of guys, striking out a bunch of guys. I love that. Andrew Hoffman, a plus pitch with his changeup, a solid fastball, a good slider. Again, just adding options for Torey Lovello next season in 2026. Yes, I said Torey Lovello next season in 2026 out there in the bullpen. Grades, I think, are somewhat of a foolish endeavor, although we'll talk about them today. We'll tell you what other people are saying, and I'll participate. I think it's hard to give a grade on this because you don't know what these players are going to be. I don't know. I'll tell you what, it's an A+ if they get a starter in their rotation out of the pitchers that they picked up. If they get 2 bullpen arms and Locklear is their starting first baseman, that's an A++. But the way I want to give out my grade on the job that Mike Hazen has done is not based on how these players pan out, but in the moment, what I think about the direction he chose to take this franchise and the players that he prioritized. And for that, he gets an A+. Mike Hazen made a decision. He made a decision that this team can still be competitive and be relevant and have a chance in 2026. Not to be what they were supposed to be on paper this year, but to be a fringe wildcard team. Why can't they be the Cincinnati Reds next season? Why can't they be potentially just on the outside looking in? And one small move, one small upgrade at the deadline, potentially giving them a run in August and September. I don't know if any of these prospects are going to mean anything. I don't know if they're going to work out. But what I do know is Mike Hazen prioritized players that were close to the big league level, players that were close to contributing for their respective clubs. And they added a first baseman. They added multiple starting pitching options and bullpen arms. And I can already see it I can peer out of the corner of my eye, and I can see people already on the YouTube channel questioning my A+. The reason why this gets an A+ for me is because 3 weeks ago, when we were talking about what the vision should be for the Diamondbacks at the deadline, this is the case we made. This is what we outlined. Prioritize pitching prospects. Prioritize positional prospects that were close to the big league level, that were landlocked in their current situations. Tyler Locklear was landlocked in Seattle. Once they acquired Josh Naylor, where was he going to play? He couldn't play third, which was his position in college. So he's either a DH or a first baseman. Well, they've got Josh Naylor at first base. They didn't have room for him, at least in the short to medium term. These pitching prospects, close to big league ready. Do they have super high ceilings? Are these future Cy Young candidates? It doesn't feel like that based on what I'm reading. But did you get really high floor pitchers that have a solid ceiling of maybe being, I don't know, a Merrill Kelly type? I think you did that. Now, it has to pan out. If it doesn't pan out, you can clown on me and you can say they had a bad deadline. But in the moment, as we sit here, this is exactly what I wanted Mike Hazen in this organization to do. This is exactly the direction I wanted them to take. So I give it an A+. And I'm ready. It's a Friday. I'm ready for the arrows to be thrown my direction for giving it an A+, for being glass half full. But they just added 5 top 15 prospects to their system, and not guys that are going to take 2 years, guys that are going to be one way or another contributors next season or this season. You're going to know. You're going to get an answer very quickly on whether or not this panned out. So I'm ready for the arrows today, Producer Evan. I'm ready.
Listen,
they're coming.
The A+ may be a tad aggressive, just a tad, because it's always hard to tell what it's going to look like before these guys make the majors, right? And do I think they did a nice job of getting pieces? Yes. Do I look at the Eugenio Suarez trade and say, hey, maybe they didn't get enough there? Certainly. But like you said, it's watching the full movie, but you have to watch from beginning to end. Now make your assessment. Did they win the trade deadline? No, they weren't the winners. Did they do a nice job with given their situation? Certainly.
And I think they set themselves up. They saved money. By the way, the underrated part of the Shelby Miller, Jordan Montgomery move is they saved money, and all of the money that they saved here at the deadline by trading these contracts, reportedly, if we believe the reports that are out there, and I tend to believe the reports that are out there, that money is going to be reinvested into future contracts. That money is now going to get to be added on to the books for next season. So for those of you like me that are a little worried about the money coming down, perhaps it will be a higher payroll than even I think it will be, because they can take these funds that they saved and apply them to next season, which would mean that while not being big spenders to the level that they were with Corbin Burns, do I think Mike Hazen is going to be adding here in the offseason? Yes. And so that's why what he did here gave him a bit of a jump start. He has options now. If the starting pitching market is slow developing and he's able to strike, he can do so. If it's a little more aggressive than he is comfortable, guess what? He has Cole Drake. He has Mitch Bratt. He has David Hageman, guys that he could potentially turn to in 2026. Again, I don't know what these players are going to be, but he has options, choices, maneuverability. That's what this deadline also afforded Mike Hazen this winter in 2026.
I mean, they saved north of $15 million on Jordan Montgomery.
So they owed him 20-something million. I think up to this point, they've paid 15 or so million. What I saw from reporting is that deal saved them around $3 million.
Oh, really?
That's what I've seen.
I saw 10.
I don't think it's that much because we're past the halfway point. We're past, 81 of 162. So he was owed 20-something, 22, I think, for this season.
22.75,
so
right?
So more than half of it's been paid to him already, even though he's been on the shelf. So I think based on what's left for the remainder of the season, you prorate it out, they probably saved a couple of $1 million. In total, they probably saved double digits, millions of dollars for next season. That's a good thing.
That's what I was looking at. But I think they saved about $10 to $12 million for the deadline.
And that money, according to reports, is going to be allocated for next season. So that's $10 to $12 million in addition to wherever. So let's play this out. I know we're up against it. We're just going to blow past the clock today. We're just going on the fly. They were at $190 million before the trade deadline. I think they got it down to about 180 after making all these moves, 184, 180, something like that. Let's say next season, they saved $10 million. Let's say next season, the budget can be 130 or 140, right? I said 135 to 155 was my prediction, but let's go in the middle, go 140, 145. I think right now for next season, they have about 100 on the books. It's about $40 million that Mike Hazen can spend. Maybe if you add the 10 million back in, it's $50 million that he can spend. Is he going to be able to get Corbin Burns or a Corbin Burns type player? No. But is he going to be able to add on the margins? Could he add a high upside starter? Yeah, sure. He could do that. Could he add to this bullpen that's going to need some work? Yeah, he could do that. Offensively, we think this team is relatively okay. You don't really need a ton of work there. So there is some maneuverability for Mike Hazen. There is some maneuverability for the Diamondbacks, and that's why I give this such high grades. Again, I am not predicting an A+ because these players are going to be superstars. I give it an A+ because I love the vision. I love the message that is being sent. Mike Hazen is telling you 2026 is not a year they're punting on. They're not giving up on 2026. They could have very easily, in all these trades, got prospects that were in low A or high A that have higher ceilings and lower floors and are already in 28, 29, 30. They could have done that. They could have made that choice. And guess what? More teams probably would have been willing to part with those players because those are future lottery tickets. That's a path that could have been taken. But we have long said that we did not think that was the path that should have been taken and the path that they would take. And yesterday was proof that 2026, it is still game on for this organization. And so that should get you excited. Be frustrated, disappointed, upset that this season way the went that it was. but applaud the pivot that was done here in the middle of it all to set up for what I think should be a fun offseason. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, a pair of holdouts or hold-ins, I don't even know what they are anymore, in the NFL. It's got people here in town wondering, should the Cardinals be picking up the phone? That's next on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, Saturday, October 25th. Special guests, The Wonder Years and Dinosaur Pile-Up. Tickets from $30. On sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
I'm Kimberly.
I'm Ken.
And we're the Owens family. I love living next to my parents because when we lived 10 minutes from them, sometimes I would dread a phone call coming because I wouldn't know if my mom was like, okay, your dad fell. He needs help. Can you get here right away? Now, since they're right next door, if anything happens, I can be there within a matter of minutes.
Photo home communities are wonderful. It's a very comforting feeling. It's kind of seems to be a sense of family, which I think everybody wants. And so, when you have that opportunity to live in a situation like that, it's everything.
We're always trying to get our friends and families to move over here. We would recommend Fulton Homes to our friends and our family. And we have recommended Fulton Homes to our friends and our family.
Fulton Homes. You're proud to own, we're proud to build.
Summer's here, and SRP wants to remind you that swim safety starts with W. That's right, W, as in Water Watcher. Keep pool time a good time by designating an adult who can swim and know CPR. Be sure they avoid distractions, always scan the swimming area, and ensure that the pool gate stays locked. Assigning a Water Watcher is a simple step to help prevent drownings and keep everyone safe around pools. To get more water safety tips, visit srp.net/pool.
I'm here with your Rome Report. Former NBA star Gilbert Arenas is once again doing Gilbert Arenas things, except this time the feds are involved. Never a good thing. Not that Gil seems all that concerned about it. Now, me, if I was facing 3 felony counts in connection to running an illegal high-stakes poker operation out of my home and looking at a maximum of 15 years in the pen, I would be concerned. But I'm funny like that. And given that I'm not in law enforcement, I don't know that he'll do 15 minutes, much less 15 years. I just know that he does not seem the least bit concerned about any of it, saying that he had next to no involvement in the scam and that all he did was rent his house out. Well, that and reportedly lie to authorities when they asked him about it. The only thing dumber than setting up those illegal poker games is lying to border protection officials about those poker games. Not sure why you needed any of that, my dude. Hope that was all worth it, although I'm sure it wasn't. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly! Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Step up to the plate and add your favorite players to your lineup with Prize Picks. The best place to cash in on your favorite sports. The app is simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROME and get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
I said yesterday, all about baseball, right? The MLB trade deadline. We're going to have a lot of baseball today, but we do have to get back into the NFL because some stuff is developing. It was yesterday afternoon, after we were off the air, that Terry McLaurin requested a trade off of the Washington Commanders, and everybody thought that was going to be their big story of the day. Well, then this morning we learned that things in Dallas between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons were not trending in the right direction. Well, now they have pivoted into a different place because Micah Parsons has officially requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. So now, for those of you keeping score at home, and shout out to Adam Schefter for making sure that this is known, we've got Micah Parsons, Terry McLaurin, and Trey Hendrickson, who have all requested a trade at some point this summer. Now, Micah Parsons put on social media. Now, let me just back up a second, because Diana Rossini in The Athletic put out a story this morning that said that Parsons was growing disgruntled with the way things were being handled, and I believe the phrase was willing to take drastic measures like requesting a trade. Right? I think that was the way
that
it was
was
phrased.
exactly how it was worded.
Well, Micah Parsons 10 minutes ago on social media posted, "Thank you, Dallas," with a very long notes.
You know it's bad when you get 3 pictures of a notes app. That's a long message.
Do you know the meme, happy for you or sorry that happened to you? That's how I feel about reading that. I'm not reading all of this. I'm especially not reading it out on the air, because I'm going to mess it up. There's like 400 words here, but it is a very detailed breakdown of why Micah feels the way that he does.
I will read you the 2 most important sentences.
Okay, perfect. Love that.
I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally.
I mean, yeah, you know what? We don't need to read anymore. That's enough for us. Thank you for reading that part of the statement. So Micah Parsons has requested a trade. He wants out of Dallas. Terry McLaurin wants out of Washington. This originally was going to be a conversation about should the Cardinals pick up the phone and call about Terry McLaurin. We are, you know what? I can do this. We're just going to do this. We're just going to rip that up real quick because we're not doing that segment now, because I want to talk about whether or not the Cardinals should go all in on Micah Parsons. Here's me ripping up our original plan, because you want to leave absolutely zero margin for error. You want to absolutely make it clear to the rest of the NFC that you're not playing around. You want to leave zero excuse on the table for Kyler Murray and the entire organization. You go out right now and you trade for Micah Parsons. Now, let me make one thing very, very clear. Dallas is not trading Micah Parsons. Just like Washington is not trading Terry McLaurin. We get very excited and we start dreaming up these scenarios when these trade requests come in. I don't want to say never. Rarely do they end up in a trade. Trey Hendrickson requested a trade last year. How'd it work out for him? He's requested a trade this year. How'd it work out for him? To me, it is more than likely that this is posturing by Micah Parsons. Now, to go as far to say, I don't want to play for the Dallas Cowboys anymore, does feel like it's more than just posturing. But I still think at the end of the day, these two sides come to terms on a deal, and we're doing all this for nothing.
I don't think the Cowboys come to a deal. Commanders, I'll save that for later in the show on how I feel about that deal. But I don't think the Cowboys come to a deal. Not after that. There's a difference between requesting a trade and posting, I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, it does feel very. It does feel very taking it to another level, right? Requesting a trade feels like one thing. Publicly, after you've defended being a Cowboy and wanting to be a Cowboy for as long as you have been, and now saying, I don't want to play for the Dallas Cowboys, and phrasing it that way and saying that sentence out loud does feel like it's a little different, but that's just a feeling. I don't know if it actually means things are different. But back up to when Jerry Jones a couple of weeks ago met with the media and talked about Micah Parsons not being on the field all the time and saying that this is just kind of run of the mill for the Cowboys, that they do this all the time. They always have these contract problems. Everybody has these contract problems. He's right.
He is.
But it just doesn't feel like this is the player that you should be doing this
Let me
with.
read you another piece of this that I think is just as bad as the last piece I read.
Sure.
I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it out on the line for an organization and our fans and my teammates. I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. I have purposely stayed quiet on the happenings of my contract, but since there is confusion out there, let me clear some things up.
So he clearly felt, or this is a ploy, right? There's two options. He clearly feels some type of way about what Jerry Jones said, the way he's been treated, and the Athletic story this morning from Diana Rossini that Jones and Parsons had some conversations back and forth. And Parsons took them as just conversations, not as negotiations. The Dallas side took those as negotiations and then did not want to talk to Parsons' agent and said, we've got a deal. Those conversations were a deal.
The closed door negotiations without his agent is insane.
Well, here's what's more insane. Again, put the trade request that just happened to the side, because this was originally what I was going to say about this before Micah Parsons requested out of Dallas. That's going to be your holdup if you're Dallas, that he wants his agent involved. That's how this works. Like, if you've agreed to a deal, right? If you think you've agreed to the deal, but now you're shutting the agent out, why wouldn't you go to the agent and say, yeah, we talked. He's looping you back in. This is what we think the deal is. This is where we want to start. And then you go from there. And if it breaks down there, fine. But your holdup's going to be, we don't want to deal with the agent. We think we already have a deal. Really? This is the way you're going to treat a 26-year-old, I don't say this very often, generational player.
No, you watch Micah Parsons when healthy. He is the best edge rusher in the sport.
Generational. There is nobody else in the game like Micah Parsons.
I just don't understand how they are going to let the. I do understand because they're them and it's Jerry Jones, but they're going to let this happen again.
Again, my prediction right now with the information that we have is this is just standard posturing, and this is going to get worked out.
But think about what this means for them. If you're a star and you're in the free agent market, would you ever want to sign with Dallas anymore?
No, you certainly wouldn't want. Well, no, because if you sign there, you're going to get the contract you want. You don't want to get drafted by Dallas. Ask Zeke, ask Martin, ask Dak. How long it took for those guys to get their contracts. So Schefter tweeted a potential trade comp for Micah Parsons. When 27-year-old Khalil Mack was traded from Oakland to Chicago, the Bears gave up 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a 6th-round pick for Mack, a 2nd, and a conditional 5th. Would you do that deal right now if you were any team in football for Micah Parsons? The answer is yes. I don't even need to think about it.
I was going to say, you get a 2nd back and you get a what was conditional 5th?
I'm giving up 2 first-round picks. You know what I'm trying to do with those 2 first-round picks? I'm trying to find Micah Parsons. And I can get somebody who is 26 years old who, again, thanks to Adam Schefter for this, one of only 2 players in the NFL to register a dozen-plus sacks in each of his first 4 seasons, alongside Reggie White. That's the company that Micah Parsons keeps here. You can have 2 first-round picks. You can have a 3rd-round pick. You can have a 6th-round pick.
Not even to mention the type of athlete he is, of like what you can do with him on the defensive side. What he would do for the Cardinals.
Are you ready for this? Darius Robinson should be available. Walter Nolan should be available. There is nobody on this team outside of Paris Johnson and Marvin Harrison Jr. that should be untouchable from a player perspective in this trade. None whatsoever. You pick up here's where we get to say it all the time. You pick up the phone.
You should be calling them today.
You call them, you're asking. Now, they're probably going to tell you no. Again, I still think this ends with Micah staying in Dallas and him signing a massive contract, and this will all blow over and everything will be fine. But it does feel like I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. At least seeing that written out the way it was written out does feel like taking this to another level. But it could be Micah and his side playing the game and trying to put maximum pressure on Dallas.
I just want to be clear here, though. Last year, he played 13 games, missed some times with injury. Would you like to know how many games he played in his previous 3 seasons? 17, 17, 16. Is he that injury prone?
No, he posts. He's there.
He's there, right? 13, 13 and a half, 14. He had 12 sacks last year in 13 games.
Quote, I no longer want to be here.
He was their most productive pass rusher. He missed 4 games.
Again, I still think this ends in a deal. But it does feel seismic to use those words, to use that language, to make it so public when you have been very quiet and private about this the entire time. But let's be rational. Let's take that step back and say this is kind of part of the playbook. Requesting a trade in and of itself is part of this playbook of getting your deal done as part of a holdout, as part of these tenuous negotiations.
Yes.
It is.
But the Terry McLaurin request for a trade and the Micah Parsons one feel dramatically different.
They are two different. And I said this in the morning meeting. I'll repeat it here. I think it is foolish that Dallas even let this get to this point with Micah Parsons, who's 26 years old. I don't know why there's even a question about making him the highest paid defensive player in the sport. I don't even know why there's a question about it. What precedent are you setting? He's a generational talent. I want to set the precedent for that player. Now, Terry McLaurin, it's a little different. He's 30 years old. You're paying him for past production, not future production. If you paid Micah Parsons right now, made him the highest paid player in the sport, right? You made him the highest paid defender, non-quarterback in the sport. You are going to get surplus value on that deal. It shouldn't even be a question mark. Yet here we are. Dallas going to Dallas. 480-864-1060. We will obviously keep an eye on this because a player like Micah Parsons being available changes everything in the sport. And again, I'll repeat it. I don't think he's going to get moved. But if he is available, Monty needs to be on the phone yesterday. And there's nothing that's off limits in my mind. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, there was one player who did not get moved yesterday by the Arizona Diamondbacks. What does his future look like? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
The legacy continues. Pantera. The heaviest tour of the summer. Tearing up Talking Sick Resort Amphitheater, August 26th. With Amon Amarth. On sale now at LiveNation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Oh, Mr. Gecko, is it true what they say about Geico's emergency roadside service?
I'll own up to it. Yes, it's all true.
You mean to say Geico's emergency roadside service really is 24/7?
And it's available on the phone or app. It's all part of getting more with Geico. I don't mean to be rude, but could I scooch past you all? You're standing in the way of my yoga class.
One more, Mr. Gecko, the fans must know. Why yoga?
Well, it helps in my posture. It's my back. It ain't what it used to be.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler here at Shane Company. Come on in, feel at home, and let's find your dream engagement ring. I'm proud to work for a company that puts customers first and lets them shop the way they want to. See, we believe shopping for an engagement ring should be fun, without any of the pressure. We don't work on commission, so finding your dream ring is truly on your terms. We'll be right by your side as your friend and jeweler to help you find a ring more beautiful than you imagined and stick to your budget too. We have all of the styles and all of the smiles. You can even watch our in-house jewelers working their magic inside your neighborhood store. It's that kind of care and craftsmanship that makes Shane Company's free lifetime warranty the best in the business, saving you thousands over time and giving you peace of mind. No appointment necessary, or check us out at shaneco.com. Because a friend knows when you're ready, you're ready. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Save up to 40% on back to school with Lunchbox favorites made without 300 plus banned ingredients. Explore sales on organic produce, no antibiotics ever, meat, and more. Now through September 2nd at Whole Foods Market.
Summer Playfest has arrived at Harris Auction Casino. This summer, win your share of $600,000 in prizes with Caesars Rewards. Plus, join us as live bands light up the stage all season long. Then stay and play for less with our buy one, get one half off hotel rates. So stay, play, and get rewarded all summer during Summer Playfest. Only at Harris Auction Casino. Play for all. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
The UPS store has high-quality, industry-approved packaging materials. So stop by and get 15% off packing materials and protect it with our pack and ship guarantee. Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee or a location near you for full details.
Hey listeners, Sammy Kayla from the Varsity Sports Show here. No Vince DeLisio this week, only the interns. Join me, Mahirson Hassan, and Colton O'Connor live in studio this Saturday as we bring you another stacked edition of the Varsity Sports Show.
Join us as we welcome new men's lacrosse head coaches Dave O'Neill and Eric Bassett, along with Buckeye High School Athletic Director Matt York and our summer interns. It's all going down Saturday morning, 9 to 11 on KDOS AM 1060, Arizona.
The Micah Parsons conversation went into the break to the point where I almost missed the music coming back. That's how, in the break, producer Evan and I were trying to figure out where Micah Parsons could go if he got traded. So we'll maybe get back to this in hour number 2 of the program, probably at some point. Perhaps this will be an emergency buy or sell coming up in about 10 minutes or so.
I do think it's funny that on our rundown, the segment was named Scary Terry.
It was.
We didn't talk about Terry McLaurin once.
No, and I don't. Maybe we will. We're supposed to get back to the Cardinals in hour number 2, so we'll probably do that there. I'm sorry. You pick up the phone and you call about Micah Parsons. You have to find out. But that's not what we're talking about here. We'll get back to that here as the show progresses. If you're just joining us, Micah Parsons has requested a trade out of Dallas, part of those drastic measures that were reported earlier this morning that he was willing to go to, but put out a very lengthy notes on social media, basically saying, I don't want to be here anymore. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. So just some very harsh words for a superstar 26-year-old pass rusher. And so, yeah, a very seismic piece of news today in the NFL. Yesterday, it was seismic news all over the place in Major League Baseball during one of the more crazy MLB trade deadlines that I can remember. And it was one thing that the Diamondbacks did not do at the deadline because they did not move on from Zac Gallen. He is the one major name that stayed. Eugenio Suarez, Josh Naylor, Merrill Kelly, all out the door. Zac Gallen is still here. He is going to pitch for the final 2 months of this season for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Is there a path towards him returning? And I think there is. I think it is a much easier path for him returning because he stayed at the deadline rather than the Diamondbacks trading him away and then re-signing him in free agency. And here's why. At the end of this season, the Diamondbacks will slap that qualifying offer onto Zac Gallen. And so there is a world coming off of the bad year that he has had that he doesn't like what the market is giving him. And so he accepts that qualifying offer. So then Zac Gallen is back and he's in your rotation for 2026 and you have a trade chip at next year's deadline if you're out of it and he's pitching really well. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, or reason number 2 why I think he could come back, is because he is a Scott Boras client. And Scott Boras clients, at least recently, have a tendency to overplay their hand a little bit. Saw that with Jordan Montgomery. You saw that with some other Boras clients a couple of years ago, right? Everybody not named Juan Soto recently for Scott Boras. And so because of that, this may draw on a little bit. This may drag on a little bit. This may be drawn out. And so you may get into right before spring, and Zac Gallen may still be out there, still as a free agent. Well, the Diamondbacks can swoop in and make him a medium-term offer that keeps him here for the next couple of seasons. Also, you could have a bunch of teams that balk at the idea of giving up a compensatory pick to sign Zac Gallen. So you have the Boris side of this. You have the comp pick side of this. Are teams willing to give up a compensation pick, give up one of their own draft picks to get a guy in Zac Gallen who's coming off a really bad year? And he could just accept the qualifying offer. There are way more pathways for Zac Gallen to be back here next season. Now, if I had to put odds on it, I would say it's 80-20 that he pitches someplace else next year, maybe 70-30. But that 30%, 20%, it grows the longer the offseason drags on, the more teams maybe pass on the idea of giving up the comp pick for him. And him being a Scott Boras client, this taking a little bit. I'm not surprised that he wasn't moved yesterday. The Diamondbacks needed to clear the bar of a compensatory pick value for Zac Gallen. He's not having a great year. He's a free agent at the end of the season. So it was just tough to meet that value. Merrill Kelly, yes, he's also a free agent at the end of the year, but he has been a very stable, consistent, reliable starter this year and in years past. You know what you're getting. It maybe isn't a high ceiling pitcher, but it is a super high floor. So Texas was willing to pay a premium for that. Teams were not willing to pay a premium for Zac Gallen when they think they have to fix Zac Gallen. It's the same reason why Dylan Cease didn't go anywhere. It's the same reason why Sandy Alcantara didn't go anywhere. You have three pitchers that, yes, talented, at high end can be Cy Young candidates, can win Cy Youngs. But these are players that needed tweaks, needed fixing. And if you are a contender, you're somebody that's buying at the deadline, is that really what you wanted to do? That's why I am not surprised. I am not surprised that Kelly went and Gallen didn't. I'm not surprised that teams erred on going after the reliable, steady, consistent, high floor, low ceiling pitcher than the high ceiling, but right now, somewhat low floor. So 2 more months of Zac Gallen, then we'll get to the offseason. The Diamondbacks will get that qualifying offer on him. So they will either get back a compensatory pick or they will get back Zac Gallen for a 1-year deal. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream as well. When we come back, it is a little buy or sell to close up hour number 1, the hottest takes in sports talk radio that I assume will include Michael Parsons. We'll get to it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app. Make memories you'll cherish for years to come. Join Miss Appleberry, JJ, Cody, Nina, and Cece for a lively Melon Patch musical adventure in this exciting interactive live show. Saturday, October 4th and Sunday, October 5th at the Arizona State Fair. Sing along. Dance along. Play together. Tickets on sale now at azstatefair.com and include Arizona State Fair admission. It's a celebration of connection and childhood wonder. Coco Melon Sing Along Live inside the Coliseum at the Arizona State Fair.
With Whataburger's new Bigger Better Bundles, you can upgrade your favorite Whata meal into 2 meals. You can add a kid's Whata meal for $4 and take it home to your little you. Or you can add a double meat junior Whata meal for $5 and save it for later. For you. Or you can add a Whata Wings 9-piece for $6 and just enjoy that now. Yep, with Bigger Better Bundles, you can bring the kids along. Or give it to your Uncle Mo. Or stop by and surprise your coworkers. Upgrade your Whata meal with Bigger Better Bundles for a limited time. Only at What a Burger.
Stay at the heart of it all with a special Cliff Castle room rate starting at just $99 with no resort fees. Less fees mean more ways to choose your next adventure at the gateway to the region's best gaming, entertainment, and natural wonders. And expect service from the heart as well. We think you'll love your stay with us and all the value we provide, starting at just $99 with no added fees. Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, at the heart of it all. Valid Sunday through Thursday. Some restrictions apply. An enterprise of the Yavapai Apache Nation.
In Las Vegas, live music doesn't just start. It hits different. The biggest names in music will be taking the stage. Beyoncé, Pitbull, Nas with the Las Vegas Philharmonic, Motley Crue, Gym Class Heroes, Kelly Clarkson, Janet Jackson, Lynyrd Skynyrd, live in Vegas. Go to visitlasvegas.com to see the full summer lineup.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Back to wrap up hour number 1 here, the lunch break on KDUS AM 1060. Some odds for Micah Parsons' new team. Dallas Cowboys, the favorite at plus 120, or his team odds in 2025. Dallas Cowboys at plus 120. The Patriots at plus 500. The Cardinals third at plus 650. The Chargers at plus 850. Some of the early numbers that I've seen on this. I'm sure more will come out here in just a little bit. But that's the big story that we're all monitoring right now. We close up hour number 1 with a little buy or sell. All of the hottest takes in sports talk radio. They are brought to you by the producer of the program, producer Evan. Take it away, my friend.
Okay. It has been an interesting 2 days for buy or sell. We have a lot. Kind of all over the place, but we're sticking to 2 major sports with a tie into a third. Are you ready?
Take it away.
The 2026 Diamondbacks and the 2026 Suns will be similar teams with young talent that could sneak into the playoffs.
You're really testing my feelings about everybody. Because I may be the most optimistic about the teams here in town.
I think you are.
I am extremely optimistic. So you're putting that optimism to the test here. Give it to me one more time.
The 2026 Diamondbacks and the 2026 Suns will be similar teams with young talent that could make the playoffs.
Okay, I bought all the way up until the make the playoffs. I'm going to sell this. I don't think both make the playoffs in 2026. I think both are competitive. I think the Diamondbacks more so than the Suns. I love the direction.
Like, are we considering the play-in, the playoffs?
I would think so.
Because if the Suns make the play-in, you only have to be not a bottom 6 team in the West, and the Diamondbacks can sneak in as a 7 seed. I can see that happening.
I could see it happening. I'll just sell because I think it's a heavy lift for both. Do I think one could do it? Yeah. Both, that's a heavy lift. Sell.
Not trading Zac Gallen was the right move for the Diamondbacks to try and get a comp pick if he leaves.
Well, I'll buy this because they showed with all of their other moves that if the value was met, they would move these players. Because guess what? They could have offered a comp pick to any of the other players that they moved ahead of the deadline, and they got better value for those players than what the comp pick represented, so they made those moves. So they clearly weren't getting strong enough offers, probably because they were valuing Zac Gallen more towards what he had been in the past than what he is currently in the moment. And they felt comfortable, hey, if you don't hit this value, we'll just give him the qualifying offer at the end of the season. All the other players, the value was hit. So, yeah, I think it was the right decision because clearly if they got a deal that was better than the comp pick, they would have made it. They did it with all of these other players. They were a full-blown fire sale. They didn't just stop at Zac Gallen and say, no, wait, you can't do this. No, they just didn't get a good deal. Sell or buy.
Terry McLaurin won't get a deal done with the Commanders.
A sell. Terry McLaurin will be a Washington Commander this season. Terry McLaurin will sign a deal, maybe not for the money that he wants, or at least what he's asking for right this very second. He will get a new deal in Washington because he is needed for that offense. They love him there. You don't want the second year right after a fantastic season trade Terry, your offense takes a dip backwards, and now all season long, it's just column story after column story, radio hit after radio hit, talking about how you shouldn't have traded Terry McLaurin. You find a way to figure this out. You find a way to bridge the gap, and maybe you overpay a little bit more than you're comfortable if you're Washington to avoid all of that and to give your young quarterback who's on a rookie contract a player that he was very comfortable with. They had great chemistry, and Terry had a great season last year. Terry's not going anywhere.
I'm telling you, I think they trade him.
So you think both...
Given the owner, given what he's done with teams that he has owned in the past.
So how about a buy or sell for you? How about this? We'll do a little role reversal here. Buy or sell. Both Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin are out of the NFC East at the start of the 2025 season.
Buy. At the start of the 2025? No, I think...
In a month from now, when the season starts,
okay.
When Scott Hansen is in my television in my living room.
How about this?
Telling me 8 hours of commercial.
I don't know if
football.
either of them will be suiting up for a different team by week 1. I know both of them won't be suiting up for their respective current teams by week 1. How about that?
No. That's no. You see, you're doing what I do. Answer the question. Micah Parsons, Terry McLaurin.
Do they have to play? Like if Terry McLaurin is still on the roster, but is sitting out there in a hoodie,
then he's a member of the Washington Commanders. These two players.
Then I'll sell that.
See, it's not so much fun when you're on the other side.
I'm telling you, but you get a minute here. Neither player will be playing week 1 for their respective team. If you ask me, do I think Micah Parsons is going to line him up on Thursday night in Philadelphia? No.
Both players play week 1 for their respective teams.
I stand by what I said.
We have a drop for that.
We do.
What else you got?
Both feet on the ground, stand by what I said. The Padres should be the new favorites in the National League.
Padres should be the new favorites in the National League. They did a lot yesterday. After we got off the air, they got Mason Miller and JP Sears earlier in the morning. And then after we got off the air, it was Ryan O'Hearn and Ramon Laureano from the Orioles.
Where are they going to play Ryan O'Hearn?
You know what? I was looking at their roster yesterday after they made all the trades. They had like 31 players on their active roster. They had to cut like 5 guys. Now, they made one of the moves because they got Freddie Fermin while we were on the air. They designated for assignment Martin Maldonado. So they had 3 catchers, so they solved that problem. They still have a ton of roster moves to make.
And why would you designate for assignment Martin Maldonado? He was the only player on their team that had won the World Series.
Well, they're all right with that. They clearly felt like they got enough of an upgrade with Freddie Fermin. Are they the favorites? I mean, they're second in the division right now to the Dodgers. I still think the Dodgers are the standard bearer. Padres almost gave him a good run, almost beat him in the postseason last year. Phillies are good. Mets are good. Cubs didn't do a whole lot yesterday. I was somewhat disappointed with their deadline.
I was going to say that. Really felt like they didn't make a lot of moves.
I think they just missed. And it's not fair to do this, but everybody else around them got better, and they didn't do anything.
I agree. Honestly, the Brewers didn't do anything that...
When you're the best team in baseball...
You can do that.
You don't have to make a move. When you're the Cubs and you're behind, or you're the Phillies and the Mets and it's close, you kind of have to make a move.
But here's the difference. And I think that their front office would tell you this too. They can't think they're actually the best team in baseball in their current makeup. They can't like their roster more in a 7-game series than the Dodgers or the Padres. They just can't.
I think right now it is Dodgers, Padres, Mets, Phillies, Brewers, Cubs is the way that I would power rank the National League in terms of likelihood of winning the whole pennant.
Yeah. You have them 5th.
Yeah.
That's a team that needed to make additions at the trade deadline.
Fair enough. Just real quick on the Micah Parsons of it all. CeeDee Lamb has weighed in on social media and said, never fails, dog. Just pay the man what you owe him. No need for the extracurricular.
Did CD request a trade?
Did CD request a trade? I don't know. I just know it took CD a little bit to get his deal as well.
Yep. Last one. Micah Parsons is the perfect fit for the Denver Broncos.
We we had a conversation during the break where we outlined them as a potential team. They would make a ton of sense, I think, to make that big splash to get Sean Payton a pass rusher. Again, he's not going anywhere. He's staying in Dallas. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 right around the corner. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Judas Priest and Alice Cooper.
No, Mr. Nice Guy.
The Metal Gods, Judas Priest. The Godfather of Shock Rock, Alice Cooper. October 22nd, Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater with special guest, Corrosion of Conformity. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Presented by 100.7 KSLX, part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
That'll be 30 even.
That's 90 points! Sorry, that was a lot. Now that I'm getting 3 times the points on food and fuel with the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card, I get a little too hyped sometimes.
Cool. What do you like your receipt?
In the bag! Sorry, in the bag, please.
Learn more about the everyday, everywhere Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Big Cap from the Pardon My Take podcast. If you're looking for a drink that keeps the fun going without weighing you down, pick up some Truly Hard Seltzer. It's crazy refreshing, comes in tons of different flavors, and has only 100 calories per serving. Truly makes it easy to keep the fun going with your crew, which is exactly why it's the official hard seltzer of Pardon My Take. Whether you're out with friends, hosting a game day at home, or just kicking back, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Pick it up at your local Total Wine, Walmart, or Circle K, because there's always a lot of party left, Phoenix.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're shopping for an engagement ring, we want you to feel like a kid in a candy store. All of our diamonds are in stock, in-store and online, so you get to use your eyes, not your imagination. Come in and look at marquee-shaped diamonds right next to ovals and pears. As your friend and jeweler, you can trust you'll get your dream diamond at an everyday competitive price. We have the widest selection in-store and at shaneco.com, because a friend knows choosing a diamond is personal. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
At Sprouts, you'll find healthy around every corner and tasty on every shelf. And you know what's even more delicious? With our new Sprouts Rewards, you can earn points, explore member-only perks and personalized offers, and enjoy savings. Download the Sprouts app to join today.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Back here on the lunch break, hour number 2 of the program here on a Friday. Chris Schubert with you. Hope you are all having a fantastic Friday. We made it. The weekend right around the corner. Any big plans this weekend, producer Evan?
I have no plans this weekend.
Doing nothing.
Doing a bunch of nothing. Phillies, Tigers.
By design. The doing nothing is by design.
By design. We got a scuba wheeler start on Saturday. I'm going to sit down and probably watch all 9 of that.
Yeah, you got to clear the schedule for that.
On Sunday, maybe I'll sneak out and play some golf in the morning. That's kind of it.
That's it. I am back on the softball field tomorrow.
Oh, who do we got this weekend?
We have a round robin tournament.
Okay.
So we are playing upwards of 4 games tomorrow. First game starts, I think it's super early in the morning. I think it's like 7 or 8.
Oh.
Is the start time.
That's tough.
We got to be there an hour beforehand.
You're getting up at 5.
The field is 45 minutes away from where we live, at least.
4:45.
So it's an early. There's no off days. The alarm's going to go off just as early as it did this morning. Tomorrow morning, probably a little bit earlier. And then afterwards, we are having. I think I can say this on the radio. I think so. Just be ready. If we get called into the office later, just know that this is on me. But we originally were not supposed to have softball this weekend. We have a lot of friends who also are in softball with us. They also had off this weekend. So we thought this would be a great time to get together and do something. And so we're going to draw names out of a hat. We're going to put together teams. We're having a beer pong tournament tomorrow night.
Oh, awesome.
So that's what I have tomorrow night. I don't know when it's starting, though, because we have to see when softball ends. So part of that work begins tonight because I'm not going to be home tomorrow. So I will be setting up for said tournament. And I don't know who my partner is.
So you guys are picking out a hat for partners?
Yeah, we're not. So, like, in theory, everybody would be with their significant other, like me and my fiance. We don't want to do that. We think it's fun to mix it up.
Yeah.
And so we're just picking names out of a hat. Yes.
Love that.
And we're going to have, I have to confirm this. I think there's going to be 2 courts. It's going to be like Wimbledon. We're going to have the main stage, and then we're going to have our outdoor court in our little courtyard area. So the elements out there are a little different than if you play inside.
Honestly, I was going to say the big thing too is wind, right? Like ping pong balls are light.
Right.
The wind moves it.
They float a little bit. So I'll recap on Monday how we did. If me and my partner, whoever it ends up being. There's one person.
I'm really excited to hear about this.
There is one person in our group.
I was going to say, is there you guys got one guy or gal who's better than the rest?
Oh, no. I was just going to say there's one player that I don't want on my team.
Oh.
There's somebody in our group that he would self-admit to this, that he's the worst partner that you could have because he has vision problems. He can't see. And so it's just, you've got to do a lot of the heavy lifting. I mean, you've got to be Michael Jordan and you've just got to carry the team. And I just not the person I want to draw.
That's really fair. Really, really fair.
So I'll keep everybody updated on how things go on Monday. But yeah, that's my weekend. Hope everyone's getting their weekend off to a good start here. And thank you for joining us on the lunch break. The rest of the season for the Arizona Diamondbacks, we still have 2 months more of baseball. There's no Eugenio Suarez, who had a nice heartfelt message posting on social media thanking the Diamondbacks organization and the fans. Josh Naylor's not here. Merrill Kelly's not here. Shelby Miller's not here. Randall Grichuk. I mean, this team sold. The rest of this season is going to feel different. It's going to be different. But that doesn't mean there's nothing to look forward to. And that's where I want to go here to start hour number 2 of the program. I want to talk to you about all of the things that I'm looking forward to for the remainder of this season, because I think there are a number of them. And I'll start because we got an update on him yesterday. He's getting some rehab work on the backfields. Looks like he's going to get in some rehab games with Reno. And then the plan is he's going to be at the big league level playing third base. So we are going to finally get a sample size. We are finally going to get a runway to see what Jordan Lawler is at the big league level. You're going to get a chance to put him out there every single day. You're not caring so much about wins or losses, so Torey Lovello can write in Jordan Lawler's name every single day on his lineup card, write him in pen or Sharpie at third base every single day, and you're going to get to see what this kid has to offer at the big league level. He has proven everything that he needs to prove at AAA. You don't need to send him back down there so he can hit the cover off the ball and put up great numbers. This is about making the adjustments at the big league level. And now he gets a low-pressure environment to make those adjustments. Think about the 2 times that Jordan Lawler has been called up previously in his career. 23, he got called up late in the season in the middle of the Diamondbacks going on a run. In the middle of them needing to win games in August and September, needing to win games in the postseason en route to going to the World Series. That was the first time he got called up. Then he got called up earlier this year because they just needed offense. They needed something. They needed a spark. They were trying to save their season. He was hitting the cover off the ball. We were doing this every single day. It was just an update on Jordan Lawler. They called him up and he struggled. But the 2 times he's been called up, super high pressure environments. Now, at some point, you want to see him thrive in those environments. You want to see him be able to come through in those situations. But as a young kid who's been battling injuries, who's still just trying to find his footing a little bit, I think it's going to be nice for him to have a low-pressure environment for the final 2 months or however many games he's able to get into. Because I think these 2 months are going to be able to tell us, is Jordan Lawler the future third baseman of this team or not? Does he show enough flashes? He doesn't have to come up and hit 350. But does he come up and give us enough flashes as a player to say he's the starting third baseman in 2026. Because the Diamondbacks, they've got a lot of offense. Going into next season, they're still going to have Corbin Carroll, still going to have Ketel Marte, still going to have Perdomo, still going to have Pavin Smith, still going to have Gabby Moreno. They've got offense. So Jordan Lawler doesn't have to carry a team. He doesn't have to hit 320 with 45 home runs. He doesn't have to be a superstar. He just has to be Jordan Lawler. And I think seeing him over the next 2 months can help us get that answer of whether or not he is the future third baseman of this club. That I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to not wondering every day, is Jordan Lawler going to be in the lineup? How frustrating was it for us on this program when he got called up and he wasn't playing? You took a kid who used to be playing every day. He's been doing it since he was in middle school, probably earlier than that with how much talent he has. And then you made him a bench player as a young kid, still trying to figure it out at the big league level. Now, nothing is in the way of him playing every day. So that's an encouraging thing. Tyler Locklear is another encouraging thing to keep an eye on. He is going to be given that first base job, and just like Jordan Lawler, 2 months to earn the 2026 gig. A jump start on getting an answer to those two positions. Because let's go back to what I just said. Catcher, solved. Second base, solved. Shortstop, solved. Right field DH, Carroll, Smith, solved. Offensively, the corners, your left and center field, although Gurriel's still on this team, who knows if he's going to opt out, who knows what that situation is going to look like. So maybe it's 3 offensive spots that you're looking to fill for next season. How much easier is it on Mike Hazen if Jordan Lawler and Tyler Locklear come up and they show enough flashes to say, those are the 2 guys, solved. Those guys are starting in 2026. It'd be a great thing. So we'll be good to sit down and watch Diamondbacks baseball and get to watch those at-bats. I'm also very much looking forward to seeing which of these young relievers the Diamondbacks use, how they use them, and how they look. They've already called up Brandon Garcia. Andrew Hoffman made an appearance down in Reno. I want to see how quickly they get him to the big leagues. And the rest of the season, I'll be keeping tabs on what these guys do down in the minors in the starts that they have. But Juan Burgos, Andrew Hoffman, Brandon Garcia, those are the 3 names. Garcia already up at the big league level. Those are the names that I'm keeping an eye on for this bullpen for next season or for this season. But parlaying that into 2026. And just to tie a bow on this, Cole Drake and Juan Burgos were assigned to Reno today. Or yesterday, I guess I should say. So Cole Drake, the guy who they got back, one of the 3 pitchers they got back in the Merrill Kelly trade, he is in Reno. He is 1 step away from pitching at the big league level. Juan Burgos, reliever, also assigned to Reno, 1 step away. A guy who has a cup of coffee at the big league level. So those 2 guys you think are pretty close. Everybody else a little bit lower down the list of the minor league program. So those are the things that I am looking forward to. Getting a jump start on answering some key questions. What do the Diamondbacks have at their 2 corner spots? What do the Diamondbacks have in their bullpen for next season? Because we know they are going to have to rework the whole thing. It was a disaster this year. They had injuries. AJ Puck, Justin Martinez. Don't know when you're going to see them, if you're going to see them next season. So you have to rework, revamp, retool an entire bullpen. You potentially got a jump start on that with Andrew Hoffman, with Brandon Garcia, with Juan Burgos. How much of those guys do we get to see? How do they look when we get to see them? And is it a big enough sample size to where we can say, yes, we play the pencil, pen, Sharpie game on the show? Can you put those guys' names in pen for next season in the bullpen? So that's the stuff I'm keeping an eye on. Anything for you, producer Evan, that I didn't get to there that you're also, because let's face it, the wins and losses, they don't really matter at this point.
No, I am not worried if they go out there and blow a lead with the same guys we've seen blow leads all year. It's what can I get out of the new guys, right? And so I'm really excited to see Locklear at first base, see what that looks like, see what those swing changes look like. Can he be your first baseman? Could you move him to DH? What does that look like, right? What do his at-bats look like? From a Lawler perspective, not only did he really struggle with the bat, but he didn't play third base every day. And it was shaky at third base. So I'm excited to see him play the position every day for this team and kind of get his bearings over there at third base and not only see, okay, one, is this our future third baseman at the plate? But what kind of defense are we going to get out there too?
Yeah. Shoring up some of the things that they had go wrong for them this season defensively. But to me, 2026 being kind of a transitional year where they can still be relevant, right? That's what I've said. They can be relevant. They can be competitive. They could be the Cincinnati Reds, where you're buyers at the deadline. You're at least in the mix, right? I think that is on the table. I think that is possible for 2026. With 2027, when you get Corbin Burns back, the real year where things break through. But for 2026 to do that, I think you got to answer some of these questions now. I gotta have an answer one way or another on Jordan Lawler. Or at least I'm leaning one way or another. I got to lean one way or another on Tyler Locklear. I got to lean one way or another. Do I have some young bullpen options? Did I get some guys that can help at the big league level in these trades? Or did I swing and miss? And that might happen. They might have swung and missed here with some of these prospects. But the part that I'm excited about for these 2 months is we're going to get that answer. They're going to go out there. They're going to play. We're going to get to watch them. I think we're going to enjoy a more low-pressure environment to see what these guys are able to do and get a jump start on 2026.
I was just about to say this. This season could still be fun down the stretch. They may not win many games, but you're going to get a look at a long-time top prospect for the Diamondbacks and some new additions that we think are part of next year, but then the future down the line. Don't give up on them quite yet. Punt on 2025. But they're going to be interesting to watch to see what you have for 2026.
The Diamondbacks did just make a handful of roster moves. Jalen Beek's been reinstated from the 15-day injured list. Kyle Nelson was selected to the Major League roster. Tyler Locklear reported to the big league club. Connor Kaiser, infielder, was brought to the big league roster. Brandon Garcia, who we just mentioned, he was optioned down to AAA Reno. And Tristan English was also optioned down to AAA Reno. So as of this moment, none of the relievers are at the big league level. I do think that will change. You're just going to need arms, so I'm not super worried about that. Tyler Locklear going to play first base, going to be there every day. Lawler right around the corner. Again, we're still going to get the answer to all of these questions. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, I want to have a conversation about the Cardinals coaching staff continuing to get some disrespect. And let's get back into the Micah Parsons, Terry McLaurin situations, because the Cardinals could be at the center of those as well. We'll do it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025, live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
When you're together and there's love and laughter, it's the perfect time to play. With new games like Strike It Rich and Instant Cash Scratchers from the Arizona Lottery, you can play for up to $500,000 in prizes. And every time you play, you're uplifting your community because a portion of every ticket sale goes back to vital programs in Arizona. So play for fun, to connect with friends and family, and of course, the chance to win big. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
At Nationwide Vision, we make the back-to-school season crystal clear for you and your kids. With convenient scheduling and personalized treatment plans for the whole family, we keep things simple and stress-free, so your kids can face the day with confidence. Because vision shapes learning, and learning shapes life. Get 50% off a complete pair, and give your family the clarity to thrive in every part of their journey. Schedule an appointment today to find your focus at Nationwide Vision.
It starts with a simple order, a cold Dos Equis dressed with salt and lime. But for the salt clinging to the bottle and the lime perched on top, this is the luckiest of unions. As if the universe has swiped right, pairing flavors together with a crisp Dos Equis. This is refreshment designed by fate, blessed by destiny, and served by bartenders. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Let's be honest, NFL preseason football isn't always pretty. Last night was a prime example. First play of the game, a fumbled kickoff, and then penalties, then interceptions. It wasn't exactly the greatest hits reel of football. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? The preseason is a series of glorified tune-ups. It's not for your fantasy team or your office pick'em pool. It's for coaches, GMs, and yes, even the rule makers. Take what happened last night on the sidelines. For the first time ever, the league deployed its new virtual measurement system, a tech-powered update to the old-school chain gang. The sticks are still there, but now we've got a digital assist. It might not move the needle for casual fans, but it's a glimpse at how the NFL is trying to evolve in real time. So yeah, the football might be ugly in August. It's about who makes a 53-man roster. But there's progress happening here. Kind of. You just have to look closely. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day Todd is playing pickleball, and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy, different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough. They're lightweight. They're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrell pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrellPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrell Pickleball Shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrell Pickleball Shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app. It's your way to stay in tune with everything that we're doing here on KDUS AM 1060. You can also listen for your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Colorado Rockies on Saturday, August 9th at Chase Field. The Force strong at Chase Field. The first 20,000 fans at the game on Saturday, August 9th get a Corbin Carroll Rebel Pilot bobble courtesy of Cox. Tickets are on sale at dbacks.com/SGT. We've got your chance to win 4 tickets for listening on the app, streaming us on KDUS1060.com. Want to get back into football? We're keeping tabs on everything that's going on in Dallas with Micah Parsons requesting a trade, not wanting to play there anymore amid his contract negotiations or lack thereof. Terry McLaurin yesterday, Washington wide receiver, requesting a trade out of D.C., but I want to start with this before circling back to the Cardinals and what their interest level should be here on these 2 players. Because the disrespect surrounding the Arizona Cardinals coaching staff has continued. ESPN dropped the story today ranking all 32 NFL teams' coaching staffs, coordinators in 2025. And the Arizona Cardinals were 23rd out of 32 teams. So Jonathan Gannon, Drew Petzing, Nick Rallis, last year being ranked 20th in this same ranking, were ranked 23rd. There is a level of disrespect that I do not understand about this Cardinals coaching staff. Producer Evan, I believe it was a CBS Sports story that we did a couple of weeks ago that ranked head coaches in the NFL and had Jonathan Gannon ranked towards the back part of the list. If I remember correctly, he was in a tier that didn't really make a whole lot of sense for him.
Yeah, it was the tier name hasn't proven it yet, maybe. And I think he was 27th.
No, I think he was a little higher than that.
25th?
I think he might have been 23rd, the same as this.
It was in the 20s.
It was in the 20s. Again, the disrespect. And I just think it's a misjudgment of where this team is at. But I also just don't understand the ranking for this reason and this reason alone. For a coaching staff to be ranked towards the back part of this list, in my mind, if you are outside of the top 20, it's probably because we shouldn't trust you as a coaching staff. That you haven't done anything of note. You're actively hurting your team. You are going to be the reason why you can't succeed. The Giants being ranked 32 makes some sense. The Jags being 31 because they're a relative unknown, that makes some sense. Same thing with the Saints at 30. 29, Dallas, yes, of course. The Jets, yes. Tennessee, Tampa Bay, that's a little low. That's a little surprising to me. Atlanta, okay. Carolina. Cardinals? With the Bears right in front of them? You're telling me right now you would rather have the Bears coaching staff than the Cardinals coaching staff? I'm sorry. I like Ben Johnson. I think he's an innovative offensive mind. I don't know how he is as a head coach. I know what Jonathan Gannon is as a head coach. I know. Team's not going to play sloppy. Team's going to show up prepared. Team's going to be ready to play. I do think there is some growth from Gannon that needs to take place, but he's entering year 3. To say that you would rather take Ben Johnson and the Bears coaching staff over what JG and the Cardinals have put together, it's just laughable to me. Again, it's disrespect that I don't get. You think that those 3 guys are going to get in the way of the Cardinals being successful? No, what's going to get in the way of the Cardinals being successful is the play of the quarterback under center. That's what's going to get in the way of them being successful. It all goes back to the quarterback. Does Drew Petzing need to be better? Absolutely. I think Nick Rallis was great last year. I think he's going to be even better in an environment where he has more talent to work with. But to say that this is the 23rd ranked coaching group, the Bears are 22. Really? You want Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Rees, and Jim Schwartz over what the Cardinals have? I don't think so. You want the Indianapolis Colts coaching staff? Shane Steichen, Jim Bob Cooter, Lou Anarumo? You want those 3 coaches over what the Cardinals have? Ranked 18th? I don't think so. I'm sorry. I just don't see a world where the Cardinals are the worst ranked coaching staff in their own division. You have San Francisco at 3. By the way, producer Evan, you love Kevin O'Connell so much? You think he's underrated? You think he deserves more love?
Huge Kevin O'Connell fan.
Number 1 in this list, the Minnesota Vikings. So there you go. There's all the love that you want for Kevin O'Connell. But
he deserves it. I mean, Sam Darnold's going to stink for Seattle this year.
49ers are 3. The Rams are 5. The Seahawks, I think, were like 14 or something. They're a little further down. 16. And the Cardinals are 23rd. You're telling me that the Cardinals have the worst coaching staff in their own division? I know. San Francisco is pretty good. I know the Rams are really good. I would take this coaching staff over Seattle. But again, I've been on record with this. I don't think Seattle's going to be very good this year. I think Seattle's overrated. I think there's more that's going to go wrong there that's going to go right. So that's bias, I guess. The 23rd ranked coaching staff in all of football. To me, it's just disrespect that I don't get. You're telling me that Jonathan Gannon and this crew are going to cost the Cardinals games. And again, does Drew Petzing need to be better as an offensive play caller? Sure. Does there need to be growth in that regard? Nick Rallis did more with less last year. What makes you think that he's not going to be better? Jonathan Gannon almost had this team in the playoffs last year with not a whole lot going on. And again, I don't understand why people keep pointing out that at some point they have to make the postseason. It's year 3. Year 1, they had to clean it up. Year 2, last year, they were ahead of schedule a little bit. They've exceeded what we would expect from a young, brand new coaching staff. Year 1 is a wash. You don't hold that record against them. Year 2, you want to hold what happened after the bye against them? Sure. Did any of us really, truly think they were going to be in that position with all the injuries that they had, the young players that they were trying to gel into their system? Did we really think that they were going to be in that spot to be 6-4? They started the year, 2-4? Won 4 games in a row to get to 6-4. And yet, for some reason, this is a bottom part of the league coaching staff. I just don't get it. Maybe if they traded for Micah Parsons or Terry McLaurin, there would be more respect on this team. Maybe if they went out and acquired a superb generational talent in Micah Parsons, it would change people's minds.
Seems like that's what they need to do.
What about the last 2 years tells you that Jonathan Gannon's not a good head coach?
It's the lack of results. And it's these categories of, oh, well, these guys have proven it. And, Kevin Stefanski's won 2 coaches of the year. Those are the reasons people are taking against Jonathan Gannon.
Maybe we're too close to it. I think it's because they're too far away from it. I think it's because they are too big picture. They aren't in the weeds on this team every single day like we are. You're going to hold the first year that Jonathan Gannon was here against him?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, this is what we do on the show.
There was a lot of backlash on Jonathan Gannon on how the Super Bowl was handled 3 years ago when he was the Eagles defensive coordinator. Any of that still lingering?
It might be.
Has to be, right?
No, I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying put them in the top 10.
No.
I'm saying they're not a top 20 coaching staff. There are 20 other teams' coaching staffs that you would rather take before you get to the Cardinals. I just don't know if we did that exercise. If we did that exercise, I don't know if they would be outside of the top 20.
You want to do it?
They would be. I mean, there's going to be a bias here, but sure, let's do it. Let's do the thing.
I'm going to go division by division, and we will go. Would you take them over, and I'll count them out.
Okay.
Buffalo's coaching staff.
I do not like Sean McDermott, so there's a bias here. But he has a good enough track record, and he has success. I would take Buffalo over Arizona.
Miami.
I would take Arizona over Miami.
Okay. New England.
Vrabel and McDaniels. I'll take Vrabel.
I actually agree. New York Jets.
Give me the Cardinals. I like Glenn, but I don't know anything yet.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, give me the Cardinals coaching staff over Zach Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals any day of the week.
Cleveland.
I don't care that they have Al Golden as their defensive coordinator.
Cleveland.
Give me the Cardinals. Kevin Stefanski can keep his 2 AP Coach of the Year awards nice and close.
Pittsburgh.
That's Mike Tomlin, of course. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Baltimore.
Baltimore, John Harbaugh is one of the best top 5 coaches in all football.
Tennessee.
Give me the Cardinals.
Indianapolis.
Give me the Cardinals.
Jacksonville.
Give me the Cardinals.
Houston.
I like DeMeco Ryans a lot. Yeah, give me Houston.
I agree. I was going to say, I would have pushed back on you. That's the only one.
And they have Bobby Slowick still there as the offensive coordinator.
Yes.
I like him. Really innovative mind there as well.
I agree.
They had a dip last year. I think they'll get back on track this year.
It was because the offensive line. Yeah. It was a lot weird. Los Angeles Chargers.
I will take the Chargers.
Yep. Denver.
I'll take Denver.
I just think you have to.
Yeah, I think you have
Kansas
to.
City.
Hot take. I'll take Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs coaching staff.
Really?
Yes, I will.
The Raiders.
You ready for this?
I know you
ready for this?
You hate them.
Give me Jonathan Gannon and the Cardinals coaching staff for the modern 2025 NFL over Pete Carroll.
By the way, you had him. You would have him as the 9th best coach in the AFC.
So how many teams did I? So there's only 8 teams that I had in front of him. There's only 8. There's 8 other teams.
Yes,
that I
there's
picked.
8 teams that you picked in front of him.
So
we'll see. Let's see the NFC.
See if I pick 12 other teams outside of the Cardinals in the NFC. The guess is no here.
Dallas.
No, give me the Cardinals coaching staff.
The Giants.
Give me the Cardinals coaching staff.
The Eagles.
Give me the Eagles coaching staff.
Washington.
Give me the Washington coaching staff.
Chicago.
Give me the Cardinals coaching staff.
Green Bay.
Give me Green Bay.
Minnesota.
Give me Minnesota.
Detroit.
See, this is interesting because they don't have the coordinators anymore. Last year, I think oh man, if they have Glenn and Johnson, this is easy. Without them, it's a little different. You're putting a lot on Dan Campbell. You know what? Hot take? Give me the Cardinals.
I like it. Atlanta.
Give me the Cardinals.
New Orleans.
Give me the Cardinals.
Tampa Bay.
Give me Tampa Bay.
Carolina.
Give me the Cardinals.
Los Angeles.
Give me the Rams.
Niners.
Give me the 49ers.
Seattle.
And give me the Cardinals.
16th.
Okay. So, again, I'm not saying they need to be, a top 10, top 15 coaching staff, but they're a top 20 coaching staff, and they're repeatedly put towards the bottom of this list. Repeatedly.
No, it does feel extremely disrespectful. And it's the teams that, gosh, how did they end up over them? And those are, Cleveland. I could sit here and argue with you about Cleveland just because of the 2 Coaches of the Year award and everything like that. But okay, you move them from 16 to 17 under that. Vegas, people are going to take Pete Carroll, but he hasn't coached in years. And even that, okay, put him 18. So somewhere along the line, there's just this misview of where the Cardinals are looked at from the national media.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You know what? How about this? During the break as well, I'm feeling in a giving mood today. Caller number 4, 480-864-1060. Let's give away a gift card to Von Hansen's. They want to storm the gates in the YouTube chat against me. They're not happy with me today. So let me try to, because I'm sure that sentiment is out there quite a bit. People are upset with my Diamondbacks takes today. So let me get the weekend starter right for some people. Caller number 3, 480-864-1060. We'll hook you up with a gift card to Von Hansen's. You can join us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, we gave our grades out. At least I did. A+ for what the Diamondbacks did at the deadline. You have a lot of thoughts about that. We'll react to those. And we'll share what grades others gave out about the Diamondbacks. We'll do all of it next here on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Phoenix Saturday Night Soccer is calling. Join Phoenix Rising on August 2nd at 7:30 p.m. as they take on Birmingham Legion in a can't-miss summer showdown. Enjoy the popular $4 3-for-3 menu with a $4 all-beef hot dog and $3 drink specials available all game long. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Great food, great match, all for a great price.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Footprint Center, September 16th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails, live in Phoenix. Peel It Back World Tour 2025.
We're chatting with our guest, always safety first, 811 Megaphone Man.
Call 811 before you dig.
You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be.
Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
Hey, it's Austin Clark, owner of Moxie Pest Control. You know, most pest control companies use the same products we do. That's not the difference. But what is the difference is how we treat people. At Moxie, kindness counts, and it shows in every visit, every conversation, and every one of the 6,500 plus 5-star Google reviews our customers have written. Our field experts aren't just trained to handle pests. They're trained to treat your home, your family, your pets, and your time with the kind of respect you deserve. And our services come with a pest-free guarantee. Our methods and service just work better because our people are better. So if you want a pest control company you can trust in and around your home, give us a call. We offer same-day services in most cases, and we'll even give you 50% off your first service when you call. Call 888-MOXIE-10. That's 888-MOXIE-10. Moxie Pest Control, the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona.
Every summer, across the valley, hundreds of our homeless neighbors die because of the heat. This is tragic, and it is preventable. None of us can stop the heat, but together we can save lives.
With incredible partners like you, Phoenix Rescue Mission is able to provide life-saving water and critical care to our neighbors in need. Join us this summer and make a difference. Learn more at phoenixrescuemission.org/code red.
Hey listeners, Sammy Kayla from the Varsity Sports Show here. No Vince DeLisio this week, only the interns. Join me, Mahirson Hassan, and Colton O'Connor live in studio this Saturday as we bring you another stacked edition of the Varsity Sports Show.
Join us as we welcome new men's lacrosse head coaches Dave O'Neill and Eric Bassett, along with Buckeye High School Athletic Director Matt York and our summer interns. It's all going down Saturday morning, 9 to 11 on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you. Shared my thoughts at the top of the program, how I enjoyed what the Diamondbacks did at the deadline. All things considered, would have rather them not been in that spot. But considering how bad the season had gone, I thought the pivot was a good one and set themselves up pretty nicely for the next couple of seasons. That is not the way you feel today about the moves that were made, I think is putting it nicely. There's been a lot of pushback, to my opinion, about the Diamondbacks' moves at the deadline. During the last break, we got a comment. Our good friend Brian chimed in over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Said, so when all these prospects turn into busts and we're 15 games below 500 next year, averaging 15,000 fans per game, don't come looking at me. I can't believe you're good with this. We look to you to hold these owners accountable, keep their feet to the fire. All teams are profitable. Just comes down to what owners are actually in it to win it. A lot to unpack there. I said in the open that I don't know that these prospects are going to be anything. And if they don't turn out to be anything, then yeah, they missed here. But when I shared my grade to open the show today, my grade was on the in-the-moment reaction to what they did. Did they pick the right path? Did they prioritize the right things? And at least as we sit here right now, they've set themselves up well for the future. In my mind, they did all of those things. Now it's got to all work out. It all has to. Tyler Locklear's got to be their starting first baseman. The opportunity given to Jordan Lawler has to pan out to him being the player, the top prospect that he has been. One of these pitchers has to turn out to be a rotation piece for them. Two of the bullpen arms have to work out. I grant you that. Without those pieces panning out, they didn't do a good job here. Do I think they got enough pieces for that to work out? I do. And I'm not alone. CBS Sports gave the Diamondbacks a grade. The D-backs, they gave them a B. The D-backs, in the wake of what's been a highly disappointing 2025 season thus far, were looking to deal their walk-year contributors. For the most part, they did that. Most notably, they fetched a solid, if unspectacular, return for slugging third baseman Eugenio Suarez in a trade with the Mariners, and they also sent starting pitcher Merrill Kelly to Texas. They were, however, unable to find a taker for Zac Gallen. ESPN didn't give out grades for every single team, but they gave out grades for the trade. They gave the Diamondbacks a B+ for the Merrill Kelly deal. Quote, D-backs baseball chief Mike Hazen doesn't mess around when he decides to subtract. The Snakes are going to look very different coming out of the deadline, and their fans have to wonder what might have been if Arizona had enjoyed better injury luck. Drake is the standout here, a 6'5" lefty with good stuff, a deep arsenal, and above-average command. He has a chance to be at least a mid-rotation starter. Hageman is raw, and at 22 remains in the low minors as he seeks to improve his control enough to allow his lively pitches to play. B+ for that trade. The Athletic, they gave out their deadline grades, team report cards. The Arizona Diamondbacks. Let me scroll all the way down. They didn't do this in alphabetical order. They did it by division. So you got to go all the way down. They gave the Diamondbacks a B. Quote, the Diamondbacks did a nice job in getting 5 solid prospects for the Mariners for Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor, but I was disappointed they weren't able to land any of Seattle's very best prospects with those big bats. However, I give the D-backs credit for selling, emphasizing quantity in the trade returns, improving their farm system depth considerably, and putting themselves in a much better position for the offseason, end quote. That's what this was about. For those of you who are saying I'm not holding this team accountable, I think I'm holding them more accountable than you are because I want 2026 to be relevant. If we went the way you wanted this team to go this season, boy, would 2026 be a lean season because they would have tried. They would have held on to Eugenio Suarez. They would have held on to Josh Naylor. They would have held on to all these pieces, and they would have still had the same injury luck. They would have had the same problems in the bullpen. They would have had the same unreliability in their rotation. They would have missed the playoffs. They wouldn't have saved the $18 million. They would have none of these prospects to look forward to for the remainder of this year and for 2026. And guess what? Eugenio Suarez would be playing someplace else next season. Josh Naylor would be playing someplace else next season. Merrill Kelly, Zac Gallen would be pitching someplace else next season, and you'd have nothing to show for it. And I don't know how you're filling the rotation then. I don't know how you're filling out the bullpen then. I don't know how you're solving any of these problems. Do I think 2026 is going to be a year where this team threatens to win 90 games? No, I don't. I think 2027 is probably the next year that they can do that. But do I think they made 2026 more relevant than if they would have gone the alternative route? Yes. If they would not have sold these players at the deadline and they would have just rolled the dice, they would be in a worse position for 2026 than they are right now. So how can I say that they did a bad job at the deadline when they set themselves up better for next season? You don't want to throw away seasons. Neither do I. They did this to not throw away 2026. And oh, by the way, they didn't throw away 2025. They took it up until the last possible moment. And perhaps that's one of the reasons why they didn't get a bigger return for Eugenio Suarez. Because they leaned in to potentially what you wanted them to do. And guess what? If this doesn't work out, if they identified the wrong players, if Jordan Lawler can't stick at third base, if Tyler Locklear can't be the first baseman, I'll be the first to criticize. You know what? We thought they did a good job. They didn't pick the right players. They should have gotten more from Seattle. These starters, their development, their pitching development didn't turn these guys into middle of the rotation starters for this group. I'll be right there criticizing when it is required. I'm not going to criticize on a day like today because I don't know how these players are going to pan out, but I know what they prioritized was the right thing to prioritize. The players that they got back were the right players to bring back. What happens from here is going to be a result of the Diamondbacks coaching, a result of the Diamondbacks player development system, and we will criticize that if these players don't turn out to be valuable for the Diamondbacks and help them turn things around. But I think they did a good job yesterday. I think they did a good job at the deadline. I think they set themselves up to be able to add this winter to make this team better. Offensively, they don't have a ton of problems. Offensively, you expect this team to be good. John over on YouTube says, last possible moment would be the day they're mathematically eliminated. I'm sorry, guys. That's just not how this works. They were never going to see it to that point. And why should they? 6 or 7 games below 500 at the deadline. The deadline is when the deadline is. You can't hold on to guys that aren't going to be a part of your team next season. You just can't do it. But you have an offense this season, 7th in on-base percentage in all of baseball, 4th in OPS, 7th in home runs, 6th in runs scored, 18th in stolen bases. Yes, did you lose some of those players by trading Suarez and Naylor? But you have Corbin Carroll, you have Ketel Marte, you have Geraldo Perdomo. You have all these guys for next season. Pavin Smith should come back at some point. I'm trying to have a glass half full approach. And if you disagree, that's fine. It's what makes this show great. We welcome it. Love having the back and forth. And guess what? The beautiful part about all of this is we're going to get to see. We're going to get to see over the rest of this season. We're going to get to see in the winter with what they do or don't do who is right. If they should have followed your path or were they right to follow the path that I endorsed? We'll get to see. We'll get the answer.
I don't know if there, to me, was another path.
No. The path that everybody else wanted is they wanted them to keep the payroll this high, not trade any of these players, and hope that it works out, and instead buy at the deadline when they're 7 games below 500.
If you do that, and I've seen this. I have seen this happen. When the Phillies were good and they had that run to win the World Series in the early 2000s, and they bought in 2012 and did all those things, they put themselves in a hole. We've seen other teams do this. Be too aggressive on a run that just didn't have enough juice in it.
By the way, you should be way more upset if you're a San Francisco Giants fan for selling than the Diamondbacks selling. This was the right thing to do. I don't know if it's going to work out. I will admit that to all of you. I don't know if they got the right players back. I think they did, but I don't know. None of us do.
We won't know until they play.
But do I think it was the right decision in the moment with the information that we had at the time? You betcha. And I will defend it until the cows come home.
But if they hit on one of them, if they hit on one, you got more out of it than you would have had you finished the season. Because guess what? If Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani were on this team, they're not making the playoffs.
3 pitchers back from the Merrill Kelly deal. One of those pitchers pans out for this team, that deal's a win. Tyler Locklear pans out, that deal's a win. That's it. Those 2 deals are wins immediately if those 2 players pan out. Guess what? You're going to get 2 months to see if Tyler Locklear can pan out.
You were not going to pay Eugenio Suarez no matter what.
No, because you needed to give Jordan Lawler every opportunity to earn that job.
That was the only way out.
I get being frustrated at this season. It was a massive disappointment. They got so hurt, so banged up. They lost Corbin Burns. They lost the back end of their bullpen. The wheels fell off. It's not their fault. But they can't just feel sorry for themselves and not do something about it. What I think they chose to do here at the deadline, set themselves up for the future. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today. I know, listen, I love it. I love the passion. I love that you want this team to be great. I love that you expect more from this organization, that you don't want them to go backwards, that you want them to constantly be progressing forwards. I am right there with you. We just disagree on the way they handled this specific moment in time. When we come back, it is the leftovers, all the stories that we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. We'll get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Ghost World Tour 2025. Ghost Theatrical Heavy Metal Arena Rock. August 11th, Footprint Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Ghost.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy, we live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one, he's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at alaskanac.com.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Phoenix. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Wrapping up today's edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. The leftovers, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. I do have a story today.
Hit me with it.
Well, you may have it already, so I'll let you go first. But before you do, make sure you listen on the KDUS AM 1060 app. You can listen for your chance to win 4 tickets. See the Diamondbacks take on the Rockies Saturday, August 9th at Chase Field. First 20,000 fans in attendance are going to get a Corbin Carroll Rebel Pilot bobblehead courtesy of Cox. Tickets are on sale at dbacks.com/SGT. We've got your chance to win 4 tickets for listening on the app or streaming us on KDUS1060.com. What do you have in the leftovers?
Amari Cooper has announced his retirement after 9 NFL seasons. If you're looking to add a veteran number 2 receiver, he won't be the guy. He will be retiring. I'm going to roll through these quick to see if we had these matched up.
Amari Cooper retiring. I did not see this morning.
Yes, retire after it. He announced this morning. Saw this maybe 20 minutes ago on Twitter. Decided I would bring it up.
One of the more underrated receivers during his era. Was not talked about enough how good he was. Just a consistent 1,000-yard season.
He really was.
Didn't matter who the quarterback was. Didn't matter the team. Didn't matter the franchise. Didn't matter a win-now team, a rebuilding team. It didn't matter where they were, who they played. Didn't matter. 1,000-yard season of Amari Cooper.
And people will forget just how good a couple of his seasons were in Cleveland. He was productive as a member of the Browns.
Was very good as a member of the Cleveland Browns. Was not good as a member of the Buffalo Bills. But
No, he was not. NFL and ESPN have reached a deal that gives ESPN access to Red Zone, NFL Network, and 7 more regular season games.
So, yeah, ESPN, as part of this deal, are getting Red Zone, the NFL Network, the 7 more regular season games, the NFL's fantasy football business, as well as the potential to integrate special features, including betting and potentially more assets. What does this cost ESPN, you may ask? What type of dollars did it cost?
Can I guess?
ESPN? Sure, please.
I think it's $2 billion. So
you don't know what this, you haven't seen what this actually cost.
No.
The NFL now has equity in ESPN. They didn't get money. They got a piece of ownership in ESPN. That's the deal. ESPN got the rights to all of this stuff. The NFL, in exchange, now owns part of one of its media partners.
I don't want to guess. I'm just going to see ESPN's net worth.
Well, ESPN is part of Disney, so I don't know how they break this up.
Oh, yeah. How does that work?
I don't know. The NFL may receive up to 10% of ESPN equity, sources confirmed. I'm reading from an Athletic story. That detail was reported previously by CNBC. There could be a term length to the agreement, according to one person briefed on the agreement, but it is not yet known how that will be prescribed.
So ESPN owns about 80% Walt Disney Company owns about 80% of ESPN.
And then who owns the other 20?
Hearst Communications owns the 20%.
So 10% of that 80% is now going to go to the NFL.
I thought it'd be more.
I don't know how this is allowed. The NFL, that's their direct media partner. They own a stake in their media partner while negotiating TV deals with that media partner and other media partners. It just feels like a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
It just feels awkward. Maybe it's not, but it just feels awkward reading it.
I really don't know how that's allowed.
Well, remember, ESPN is going to launch their brand new ESPN Plus, whatever it's being called, the $29.99 per month service that will allow you to not have a cable or satellite provider to watch ESPN programming, live games, and probably get Red Zone as part of it, maybe?
That's what I was going to ask. So do I now, as a YouTube TV Sunday ticket user, do I now have to go through ESPN?
Well, you bought the Sunday ticket.
I bought the Sunday ticket package through YouTube TV.
With Red Zone.
With Red Zone.
So then you could just watch Red Zone there.
Okay. So I'm good.
I think it's still going to be produced the same.
Could you imagine if they pulled Scott Hansen for one of those guys?
I'll tell you.
You want the world to turn on ESPN?
You get rid of Scott Hansen Sunday mornings.
People are going to be pissed.
I'm going to be angry. I'm not going to be happy. You don't take Scott Hansen. When his contract was up at the end of the year, there was some worry and people were upset. So be careful. Don't mess with Scott Hansen and my Sunday morning red zone football watching.
Michael Bridges, by the way, agreed to a 4-year, $150 million extension.
I guess that means they're not getting Giannis. I think they were holding out giving that contract because they thought Giannis might become available.
I think that is exactly what it means.
So
good for him, though.
Mike Brown there in New York, going to try to take that team where Tom Thibodeau couldn't. That is going to do it for us here on the Friday edition of the program. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday. See ya.